Time now for today's Focus Report. Today we're going to meet with Syrians who moved from simply opposing the brutality of the regime to becoming citizen journalists and activists. In Syria, they had to work undercover. Some 50,000 have been imprisoned since the start of the revolution in Syria in 2011 for carrying out such action. Many others have disappeared. Our reporters Alaaedin, Sallal and Alexandra Renard have been speaking with one Syrian citizen journalist here who has taken refuge and testifies in her own words against the Syrian regime.
On Avenue Foch, Syrian activist Rowaida Kanaan is meeting two students from the Paris Dauphine University. Sebastian and Laura are coaching her to help her integrate into French society. Also present is Alexandra, a lawyer helping Rowaida with career advice. Drawing on its networks of professionals and students, the university has decided to help refugees living in France to achieve their full potential.
OK, then, Rowaida, your LinkedIn profile is good. You've put all your experience in French. The only thing that you need to change is the closing sentence.
What we've noticed is a class change for many refugees arriving in France. Even though they have skills and degrees, they generally can't put them to full use because their degrees aren't recognised here and they don't speak French.
Your priority is learning French. I don't see how you could take up a course in journalism and make the most of it if you don't master French.
أول ما بنوصل بنكون شوي ضايعين فألكسندرا واللغة وبقية الفريق هن بس هذا التوجيه إنه نحن شو بدنا بالضبط وشو بنقدر نعمل هون بالضبط وبتخيل يعني نحن بالحياة بحاجة لهي العلاقات لأن يعني هي بتفتح لنا معارف جدد شغل جديد دراسة جديدة حياة جديدة ما إحنا هون أصلاً عم نعيش حياة جديدة.
Forbidden to return to Syria for 10 years, Rowaida is a political refugee. Now she wants to work as a journalist here in France. For the past few months, she's been living with fellow Syrian Hani, who's also an activist. Both are from Damascus, but didn't know each other before arriving in France. She was a maths teacher and he worked as a researcher. They joined the Syrian uprising in 2011 and have both been arrested multiple times. Just like this Lebanese activist. Rowaida also received death threats. Few people who've been held captive in Syrian jails are willing to talk about the experience. In prison, Rowaida was held alongside children, babies and elderly women. For her, speaking out is important.
هلا بكل مرات الاعتقال تعرضت للتعذيب على الأغلب هو بيكون بالأيام الأولى من الاعتقال سواء كان تعذيب جسدي أو حتى أحيانا ممكن يصير تحرش جنسي. التعذيب الجسدي كان مثلا بالمرة الأولى بالهروانة وكمان كان في ضرب بالكهرباء.
After she was released for a third time, Rowaida became a citizen journalist for the web radio Rosanna, the first free Syrian media in 40 years of dictatorship.
كنا أنا وصديقي رايحين يعني كنت أنا رايحة أعمل روبرتاج بالغوطة وكان معي دواء للقلب لشخص موجود بالغوطة فأخذونا على الحاجز شافوا معي بطاقتي الصحفية بعد ما فتشوا السيارة طبعا فأخذونا أنا وصديقي استمر الاعتقال 10 شهور أنا طلعت لكن صديقي لسه ما طلع.
50,000 citizen journalists have been arrested since the revolution began. 135 have been killed. 1 month after her release, Rowaida was summoned by a state official. Afraid of what might happen to her, she fled to neighbouring Turkey. The former prisoner continues working for the web radio Rosanna. From abroad, she used her voice to draw attention to the Syrian resistance. Through her work as a journalist, she was able to show her country as more than a war zone, displaying its rich culinary history. A new life began to take shape for Rowaida. But even in Turkey, she couldn't escape the conflict. Citizen journalists from Syria remain targets there. 7 were killed in 2012. Ahmed Abdul Qadir was shot 3 times in the head, but miraculously survived. It was a turning point for Rowaida. She decided to flee the country, moving to Paris in the summer of 2017.
هلا بلا شعور منطبع او منصير مثلهم يعني نحن مثلا يعني انا مثلا صرت بركض على الدرج مع انه ما وراي شيء ما بكون مستعجله بس بشوف الناس راكده فانا بركض ما بعرف ليه واقفه غلط.
They're heading back to the Paris Dauphine University for more lessons. The school has selected 20 refugees for its winter great programme. They're given 12 weeks of assistance integrating into French society.
Bonjour.
These intensive lessons are catered to the individual. There's psychological guidance, career coaching, lessons on living in France, and of course French classes.
Elle prenait, non, prenons.
But at the age of 40, learning a new language is a real challenge.
على الصعيد العام مشان الشغل مشان الدراسة هذا أهم شيء يعني أنا ما فيني أشتغل هون باللغة العربية.
They often arrive here alone, without any family or friends. France's administrative system is complicated, and learning French isn't easy for them because they aren't used to Latin languages. So my goal is to help them fit in, communicate, and in a nutshell, survive.
Making the most of their newfound freedom of expression, the two friends have signed up for an evening class at the Panthéon-Assas University.